All right, so we covered the imagery-based mnemonics. Let's talk about how semantic encoding can be used. One of the things that we know for sure is that we remember material better when it's processed for meaning. When you think about what the material is and how it relates to other things that you know and what it really means, it tends to become much more distinctive and benefits from generation effects and a whole bunch of things that we've been talking about so far. So let's talk about some semantic mnemonic devices. There's one called the first letter technique, which is where you basically make an acronym out of the first letters of the thing that you're trying to remember. So some of you may be familiar with the acronym Roy G. Biv for remembering the order of the colors of the rainbow, right? And the names of the colors of the rainbow. Or maybe you learned a little phrase for the order of the planets in the solar system. We had to rewrite this after Pluto got demoted from planet status. So here's the current order of planets. And you might have learned a different little phrase, right? My very educated mother just served us nachos. I have a hard time saying that. I want it to be my very educated mother just served us 9 pizzas because Pluto has always been a planet in my lifetime, but okay. But this is where you take the first word, the first letter, and you make a phrase out of it. This is the technique that we tried to use, my group and I tried to use in physiological psychology for memorizing the nerves of the cranium. And I think it did not work. One problem that was really a big problem is that there are 2 nerves that start with the letter V. I know one of them is vagus. I can't remember the other one, but it has two of them have the same letter. It becomes very confusing when you're completely lost and don't know what's going on. So these are examples of the first letter technique. You can either make acronyms or you can make sentences out of it. You may know it for the kingdom, phylum, that order. Some of you might know that one. There's, is it like King Philip or, oh my gosh, I'm awful with that one too. I never memorized that using a mnemonic device. So I can't even remember the order of biological groupings. I can't remember. Another semantic mnemonic is to use what's called the keyword method. And in this, you have some term that you're trying to memorize. For example, let's say you're trying to memorize Broca's area. And you generate a keyword that stands in for that term. So you have to learn that you're going to use the keyword broken to substitute for Broca's area. So there's a little effort that you're going to have to put in to, really learn that when I say broken, I mean Broca's area. Like you have to first do that at the level that I was describing with the peg word technique, where you have to have 1 as a bun, 2 as a shoe. You really have to have that memorized or the whole thing doesn't work, right? So you have to memorize what your keyword is going to be that stands in for the term. And then you say, what is the meaning of the original term? Well, it directs the muscles for speech production. Okay. So your mental picture is broken. Imagine breaking a talking doll. If it gets broken, it won't talk, right? So you have to really remember that broken stands in for Broca, and then you'll be able to proceed with this mental picture that, it's a broken talking doll. Right? That when a talking doll gets broken, it can't talk. And so you could go through on these different structures and make these kinds of, keyword substitutions and then have these, now you've got to realize that all of these mental pictures start with imagine, and you do better if you're going to come up with something imagery based, right? So if you imagine a particular talking doll that like its mouth is moving but no sound's coming out and you're really visualizing that, you're going to have your best chance of ultimately retrieving, can't talk because it's broken, Broca, right? Like you're going to that imagery is going to be really important. But why this is listed under semantic mnemonics is because you are incorporating the meaning of the term that you're trying to remember into your mental picture. So you've got like that meaning component to it. Other semantic mnemonics, jingles. I'll put this McDonald's jingle in there. Just, you guys are probably too young to know the original Big Mac jingle that all of us Gen Xers all know because it was a hot thing and we all could sing it. jingles are terrific semantic mnemonics because, like I was saying about poems and songs, once you have like that first note or you have that first word, it sort of kickstarts you and you can just start saying all of the words. Like you know the tune, you can say the next word in line, and it's like this really strong association thanks to the cadence or the tune, right? And so jingles are really super effective semantic mnemonics. We can get you to say really complex things such as the ingredients of a Big Mac through using using jingles so that you get all the contents. All right, so up next in the playlist is the McDonald's jingle, and then there will be this relatively brief explanation of 4 ways to improve your memory using some of the strategies that we've been talking about, really applying to doing well on an exam. And my Audubon clock is a goose right now. Honking like a goose. All right, I will see you after the videos.